Hey, it's already March, and you know what time it is? It's time to start wrapping up the epic season that is winter 2021. For it, not because just as we bid farewell to our friends from the current season, we have a bright future ahead as we take a look at some of the best anime this spring 2021. So here we are. For today's list, the top 10 anime for spring 2021. No sequels, no spin-offs, just new stuff that you can look forward to. Before we get started, I have noticed that a sizable portion of people watching my videos aren't subscribed. Let's push that number up, shall we? Subscribing only requires a click and a few seconds, and doing so will immensely help the channel, and it will make me happy too. Now let's start with the list. Coming in at the start is Mars Red. No, this has got nothing to do with outer space. No, this has nothing to do with Mars of Destruction. For those of you who don't know the legendary piece of anime history, instead Mars Red takes us back to 1923, where a world ravaged by vampires awaits a savior. This savior would come in form of the Japanese government, which creates Code Zero, a unit tasked with hunting down these demonic beings. Who else better to fight vampires than their own kind, right? Thus begins the war between vampires that will change the course of the world. I found out about this show quite late, but I can't deny that it looks really stylish. It has that gritty, serious anime feel that I remember most from some hits of yesteryears, like Bacano or the more recent 91 Days. Mars Red also happens to be an adaptation of a stage reading, so we can see how well that medium translates into adaptation. Next in the list is World Ends With You, the animation.
ゲームである。7日間生き残れば参加者の勝ち。できなければ消滅する。
So I didn't see this one coming. It's been forever since I heard the title The World Ends With You, and I got to admit that I don't have much experience with the series when it was a modestly popular video game. I also didn't think that it was popular enough to warrant an anime this 2021, but the excitement I saw when the announcement was made totally changed my mind. So what's the buzz about? Our protagonist Nico wakes up and discovers that he's able to read the minds of others. Thanks to a black pen that he suddenly possesses with his newfound power, he gets forced to play the Reaper scheme to compete for the ultimate prize that determines the fate of humanity. It has the stylistic swagger that represents a really cool and sleek part of modern Japanese culture. Personally, my standards for video game adaptations aren't that high thanks to shows like Akiba Strip, Persona 5 and the recent Sakura Wars, but this series looks like it's primed to turn heads and come out as one of the better game adaptations. Next in the list is 86.
86それは無人兵器レギオンの脅威にさらされた共和国で市民たちが立てこもる行政区全85区の外存在しない第86区へ追いやられた人型の豚
Here is something that I have been anticipating ever since I saw the novels first. I have taken an interest in 86 ad that to the fact that I'm probably one of the fewer people who really enjoyed Gimme-san some time back. And I can see this anime clicking with me already this time. The story of 86 takes us to the war-torn Republic of San Mongolia after years of battles. With its neighboring nation, the Republic has finally turned the conflict around with a war without casualties, or that's what everybody thought. But supposedly unmanned droids employed to battle are actually being piloted by people of the 86 sector. These people stripped of their humanity headed to battle. Our story revolves around Lena and Shin, two individuals whose fate intertwines within the Forsaken sector of the Republic. Military fiction in light novels is something that I personally have a good track record with, so I find myself very excited for 86, that it's also a form of AI. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you will have a general idea of what to expect overall. 86 looks like a pretty nice take on the Valkyria Chronicles setting while taking cues from a World War II backdrop. Next in line is Way of the House Husband.
かつて極道の世界で恐れられた伝説のヤクザ
Now here is another title that I have been hearing a lot of good things about. The interesting thing is that after I decided to read the manga, Way of the House Husband just blew me away. I didn't expect myself to be that entertained, but this was an amazing comedy series. Basically, the plot is about legendary Yakuza noted for being able to single-handedly strike down rival gangs and sowing fear in both police and criminals alike like any good hero of legend. Our guy Tatsu disappears only to resurface looking nothing like the weird lord of the Japanese underworld. He is vowed to turn his life around and make an honest living as a house husband. However, Tatsu soon finds out that the kitchen and the supermarket provide a whole new battlefield. One that he has got a long way to go from conquering misunderstanding seems to follow this comical serious ex-Yakuza in these series that will surely leave you laughing for hours on end. If not for the production issues, this series would have been a lot higher on this list. I mean, the trailer kind of looks like a slideshow rather than any animation, but only time will tell how the audience will fully react to the full adaptation done this way. Let's dive into the world of CP for the next entry, Florid Ice Song.
私の使命は歌でみんなを幸せにすること。
ReZero's second season may have ended, but we have not seen the last of Tape Nagatsuki. Yes, the author of one of the most popular isekai is back to pen this new anime along with Ichi Umehara from Chaos Child fame. Florid Ice Song is an original sci-fi anime set to air this April 2021. Here we go on a journey to a theme park where the human psyche and technology intertwine near land-taking center stage is Vivi, an AI who looks to make people happy through music. Despite the park's struggle, the routine comes crashing down when another AI, Matsumoto, comes from the future and warns Vivi about a looming war between AI and humanity. The two of them then set forth on a quest to correct the bleak future. Being an original anime, we can only really judge it based on the trailers, and my impressions basically sum up that it looks pretty good. And we can all thank Wit Studio for that. I'm always up for anime with these aesthetics, and seeing as we just recently got a pretty nice surprise from a similar looking original title, Independence, I'll be anticipating this title. I think a lot of you are going to enjoy this one. At number 5 is Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. You know that one incident where it seems that the whole one complexion of your social standing changes, but Nagatoro's senpai case, it's the girl stumbling upon his drawings. It seems to have awakened something within the girl, and now she can't get enough of bullying her senpai. A powerless senpai just can't help but get roped into her antics and follow through her pace. Is that an uneasy friendship that will be developing between the two of them, or will the guy continue to endure a life of misery brought to him by his classmate? I have heard quite a bit about this title when it was a manga, and it's got a polarizing reception to say the least. It's like a way more serious and, for a lack of a better term, sinister version of Takagi-san. Nonetheless, I'll be anticipating it very much just to see how it will fare as an upcoming anime. How about you want to try it out? See if it's your liking. Eden Zero makes its way into the 4th spot spring 2021, will also mark the debut of Mashima Hero's new working anime form. Eden Zero is set to air, and it promises a pretty fun and quirky sci-fi adventure, a departure from his previous works, despite the whole thing looking like a fairy tale remake or something like that, spending most of his days being raised by robots. Cheeky grumble dreams of greener pastures, countless possibilities awaiting the world beyond the theme park in Shiki would want nothing but to go on adventure when down days would come to an end, when the park receives its first visitors in the form of Rebecca and Happy, when tragedy befalls Rebecca and Happy takes Shiki with them on their journey through space. Mashima Heroes tries his hand in sci-fi with this all-new series that promises some of the author's signatures, that includes quirky action, memorable characters, and lots of fan service space. Pirates check, magical cyborgs check, cybernetic dragons check. It's a space adventure like no. Starting our top 3 countdown is Shaman King. We have officially entered remake territory, which consists of only one title for this list, Shaman King. For those of you who weren't around some 2 decades ago, Shaman King's basic premise is basically one huge tournament arc featuring spirits and magical weapons, and main character who can see ghosts. If it's giving you some serious Bleach or Soul Eater vibes, well, I'm not surprised. The story revolves around Yo Asakura, a late-back boy who makes friends with spirits. He finds himself getting involved in high-stakes Shaman Fire, a tournament featuring shamans all over the world battling to take the ultimate crown. controlling the great spirit of being that's so strong that can grant its partner world-changing powers. The previous anime deviated a lot from the manga after the first 20 or so episodes, so this remake should be able to let you experience the story that never got animated having read the manga. I have got to tell you that things get pretty crazy out there if you are someone who enjoyed the previous series or someone who wants something similar while waiting for 2021's Bleach. Don't miss out on this one. And runner-up today is To Your Eternity, most anticipated new anime this spring season with a pedigree like The Winter of Asylum, voice backing it, and some amazing visuals that make the whole thing look like as cinematic as it can be. How can it not be? It seems to have some really strong thematic appeals to the premise is quite simple, featuring an alien organism coming to our planet and being able to learn and acquire experiences by transforming into various objects that it comes across ultimately. It hits the jackpot by becoming the most advanced and intricate organism in the world, a human being. So what adventures and knowledge await it as it begins to see the world through the eyes of a human being? This is it. This is probably the Violet Evergarden equivalent for the season, the cinematic production and tearjerker with some dramatic and profound themes about identity and self-discovery. The manga also got some stellar reviews too, so I'm extremely excited to see how this turns out as an anime adaptation, and I think that this title won't disappoint and ultimately will be you in the running for the best anime of the season, To Your Eternity, also your most anticipated new anime of spring 2021. Finally, we end with Tokyo Revenge's time travel, an elusive power that a lot of people want to have, something so impossible in real world but can open up so many possibilities that can be seen in media. Tokyo Revenge is one such story, and given the climate of industry right now, I think that it's right for another one of these. Life can't get any worse for Dakimichi Hanagaki. Well, actually it can. How does having your ex-girlfriend murdered by the notorious and ruthless Tokyo Manji gang sound? It's got to be as heart-wrenching as it can be. All hope isn't lost though. However, as our hero finds himself traveling back in time with a chance to prevent the worst ending from happening, our protagonist resolves to infiltrate the gang and climb its ranks to change the future. An immensely popular manga, Tokyo Avengers finally gets its much-awaited anime adaptation, A Tale of Drama and Comradeship. Tokyo Revenge starts airing this April 11th. Why or why not? Tell me in the comment section below. Oh, and you can also share what you think is the best upcoming new series for spring. I'll be waiting for your picks.